My hubby just pulled a gaga level of epicness of fuckery at work. And I am so proud of him. And I think I'm more in love with him than ever. Story time. So hubby's at work, and somehow they get on the topic of politics at work. Here's the thing. They're talking about, voter ID and it needing to match like birth certificate and stuff like that. This is where, and this is important for later on. And somewhere in this conversation, they ask, have you ever had like disagreements with politics with people here at work? Has there ever been an issue? He's like, well, no, I mean, I've had a conversation or two. And they're like, cite an example. So he does. And he brings up how one guy he was talking to was asking my hubby, why do you care about, the 2S LGBTQIA plus community so much? You're not gay, are you? Is there something you tell us? And hubby's like, no, that I don't need to be gay to care if they have rights. And he's like, well, then why do you care? He's like, the same reason I care if you have the right to vote. And the gentleman was black. I don't need to be black to care about you, to make sure that you have the same rights. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they bring up trans people. They're like, well, what about trans people? I mean, come on. And hubby's like, they're people. They deserve rights. And they're like, are you sure there isn't something you need to tell us? Goading my hubby. So what does hubby do? He whips out his wallet and he pulls out a picture, an old picture. A picture that's about 17, 18 years old. It's of a very scantily clad woman, dressed in Victoria's Secret's attire, with knee-high leather boots, brown hair, and blue-green eyes. And he goes, this is me 20 years ago. Now, the people who have been around my hubby for years are just sitting there. They're not saying shit. But the newer ones, they're taking a step back. No! And he's like, okay, maybe not 20 years, more like 17. But yeah. They're like, no, dude, you can't be real about this. He's like, yeah, the name on my birth certificate is Jessica. And they're like, really? He's like, yeah. So how do you feel about me using the girls' bathroom? He had them fully convinced he was a trans man. That was until a waitress who had been working there a while walks up, takes a look at the picture and goes, isn't that your wife?